What if I told you that the gap between where you are and everything you ever wanted is an illusion? That the universe is not waiting for the right timing, the perfect conditions, or some mysterious permission to bless you, but that it is waiting for you to finally say yes, not with words, not with hope, but with embodiment. This is not about wishful thinking or passive dreaming. This is about stepping into the frequency of fulfillment before the evidence arrives. It is about acting not as if you're hoping to receive. There is a secret rhythm to reality, and those who understand it don't chase what they want, they become it. Tonight, I invite you to walk as if the ground beneath your feet is rising to meet your every step, to speak as if the outcome is already secured, to live from the end, not toward it. Because the moment you dare to act as if the universe is about to deliver everything you desire, you align with the power that makes it so. Imagination is the seed of reality. Everything you see around you, every structure, invention, relationship, opportunity, began first as an idea. But it wasn't just an idle thought that brought it into existence. It was the imagination, sustained and emotionally charged, that shaped it into form. The truth most ignore is this: your imagination is not a passive mental faculty. It is the creative womb of your reality. It is the brush with which you paint the canvas of your life. To act as if the universe is about to deliver everything you desire, you must begin by understanding the divine power within your mind, not the analytical mind that measures facts and recalls history, but the imaginative mind that sees what does not yet exist and gives it life. The world tells you to be realistic, to temper your dreams with doubt and practicality. And those who shape the world don't start with the outer facts. They start with an inner vision so vivid, so alive, that it eventually bends the facts to fit the dream. Your imagination is not fantasy. It is a preview of your destiny. But here lies the difference between most people's lives and the lives of those who seem to live as if touched by grace. The latter believe in their inner visions more than they believe in their current circumstances. When you begin to imagine, not as a wish, but as a creative act, you awaken a force within you that goes to work behind the scenes. You may not see immediate results, but just like a seed placed in fertile soil, your imagined reality begins to draw all things necessary for its growth. Ideas come, people appear, opportunities align. What was once invisible begins to take form. But remember, the power of imagination must be matched with conviction. It is not enough to see your desired life in a fleeting moment before bed or during a quiet meditation. You must inhabit it. You must walk through the imagined world as though it is more real than the one you currently perceive. This is the art of conscious creation, where you no longer respond to life passively, but begin to shape it deliberately. Imagination becomes powerful when you feel what you imagine. Picture yourself standing on the stage you dreamed of, your voice echoing through the hearts of others. Feel the warmth of love in the relationship you've longed for. Smell the ocean air of the place you've always wanted to live. The more vivid the sensory details, the deeper the impression left upon your subconscious, the soil of manifestation. Do not underestimate this sacred power. The greatest transformation of your life will not come from luck or timing, but from the moment you dare to believe in your vision, more than in your visible limitations. When you imagine from the end, rather than about the end, you sow the seed of your future. So, as you walk forward in life, ask yourself, what am I imagining? Because whatever it is, the universe is preparing to bring it into form. Assumption precedes manifestation. Before anything can manifest in your world, it must first be claimed within your consciousness. This is the divine law hidden in plain sight. What you assume to be true becomes true for you. Not because you forced it, not because you begged for it, but because you accepted it as already yours. The inner assumption is the signal. The external result is merely the echo. Most people live from the outside in. They look at what is and decide what is possible based on current evidence. But to act as if the universe is about to deliver everything you desire, you must reverse that flow. You must live from the inside out, from assumption, not observation. You are not required to wait until the world shows you proof. You are invited to become the proof. Assumption is more than positive thinking. It is not wishful optimism, nor is it blind faith. It is a conscious decision to adopt the state of your desire as already fulfilled. You assume the role, the identity, the emotions of the version of you who has already received what they once longed for. And in doing so, you draw it toward you, not by need or effort, but by alignment. Let's be clear. Assumption is not pretending. Pretending is rooted in doubt, a mask over disbelief. Assumption, on the other hand, is calm, quiet knowing. It does not shout, it does not rush, it simply is. The one who truly assumes their desire is fulfilled walks differently, speaks differently, breathes differently. Their energy shifts, not because they have what they want. This is the essence of creation. The universe does not give you what you want, it reflects what you are. And you're always being who you assume yourself to be. If you assume lack, you live in lack. If you assume abundance, the world begins to arrange itself to match your belief. What you do not assume, you delay. What you assume with conviction, you accelerate. To make this practical, begin each day by stepping into the version of yourself who already lives in your desired reality. What do they think about? How do they speak? How do they carry themselves? What are they no longer worried about? Embody these qualities now, not later. Don't wait until it's reasonable to believe. Belief is what makes it reasonable. This is not delusion, this is mastery. It is not fantasy, it is command. You are not at the mercy of appearances. You are the cause, and assumption is the lever that moves the world. Even in the face of contrary evidence, hold your inner stance. If you truly believe the universe is about to deliver everything you desire, how would you feel today? How would you move? That is the person you must become right now, without delay. And as you persist in that assumption, something miraculous happens. The world begins to bend. Circumstances shift. People respond. Paths open. What you once chased now finds you, not because it changed, but because you did. Feeling is the secret language of creation. There is a force within you that shapes your world more powerfully than any action you can take, more directly than any word you can speak. That force is feeling, not fleeting emotion, but the deep, steady vibration of conviction. The inner state of being that says, this is mine. Thought alone cannot move mountains. Words without emotion fall flat. But the moment a thought is infused with feeling, it takes on life. It becomes charged with creative power. Your feelings are not just responses to the world around you. They are commands to the universe, signals of what you are ready to receive. To act as if the universe is about to deliver everything you desire is to dwell emotionally in the end result. It is to feel right now the joy of the relationship, the relief of the success, the confidence of the breakthrough. When you feel it as real, the universe responds as if it is real, because to the deeper part of your mind, there is no difference between what is vividly felt and what is physically experienced. Most people misunderstand this. They wait for the evidence before they allow themselves to feel the fulfillment. They say, I'll feel successful when I achieve it. I'll feel loved when I find someone. I'll feel secure when my bank account changes. But creation does not work this way. That is reaction, not creation. The key is to feel it first. Your feelings are the magnet. Your state of being is the mold. The universe is always listening, not to your words, but to the energy behind them. If you speak of abundance while feeling anxious, the universe matches your feeling, not your statement. If you speak of confidence while internally doubting, your world reflects that conflict. But when your inner feeling and outer expression are in harmony, manifestation becomes inevitable. This is why cultivating the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the most powerful practice you can engage in. Close your eyes and imagine your desire already realized. Don't just see it. Feel it. Let your heart race with excitement. Let your body soften with relief. Let your mind rest in certainty. Create an inner world so vivid and emotionally rich that the external world has no choice but to catch up. And here's the most miraculous part. When you master the feeling, you become free. You no longer need to chase the outcome because you're already living in its energy. You don't wait for joy, you generate it. You don't hope for love, you radiate it. You don't beg for success, you embody it. So the question is not, how do I get what I want? The real question is, how would I feel if it were already mine? And then feel that now, sustain that frequency. Return to it every time doubt creeps in. Because the more you feel it, the more real it becomes. And in that space where thought and feeling become one, the universe answers not with delay, but with precision. Live from the end, not toward it. There is a sacred shift that occurs when you stop striving toward your desires and instead begin to live from them. Most people are conditioned to believe that they must work, wait, and wish until the thing they want arrives. And only then can they feel secure, fulfilled, or free. But in the unseen laws that govern reality, the opposite is true. You receive what you live from. To live from the end means to mentally and emotionally place yourself at the destination before your physical senses confirm it. It is to wake up and act, not as someone who hopes for change, but as one who knows that change is already set in motion. You no longer measure progress by what's visible. You measure it by how deeply you've embodied the state of already having what you once longed for. This is not about pretending. Pretending implies you're acting out something you don't believe. Living from the end is different. It's choosing the identity of the person who already has the thing desired and letting that identity guide every decision, every action, every word, and every thought. You stop saying, I will be, and begin saying, I am. Think of the person who desires abundance. If they live toward abundance, they may carry the energy of lack, constantly working hard, grasping at opportunities, and measuring every expense with fear. But if they live from abundance, they act with calm certainty. They make choices from a place of sufficiency. They expect life to support them. Their very posture shifts. The world cannot help but respond to that energy. The same principle applies to love, health, purpose, anything. You do not attract what you want by chasing it. You are attracted by becoming the person who naturally lives within that reality. When you live from the end, you stop asking, how will it happen? And instead ask, who would I be if it had already happened? That version of you, anchored in the end result, becomes your new center of gravity. Let's go deeper. Living from the end also requires you to let go of your addiction to time. The belief that what you want is always someday away is a subtle form of resistance. It keeps your desire on a leash. You never quite reach, but when you bring the end into the now, you collapse time. You align your present state with your future result, and that alignment is what draws the outcome into physical form. What would you stop worrying about if it were already done? What fears would dissolve? What actions would you no longer delay? Living from the end is liberation. It breaks the cycle of waiting. It frees you from the illusion of distance between you and your desire. Yes, there may still be steps to take, roles to play, moments of apparent delay, but internally you are unmoved. You are not rushing. You are not doubting. You are living as if it is done. And so the doing becomes effortless, inspired, natural. This approach is not only powerful, it is precise. The universe doesn't deal in confusion, it mirrors clarity. And the clearest signal you can send is to embody the version of yourself that no longer needs the thing because they already are it. They already have it. They are living from the fulfillment, not in pursuit of it. So how do you begin? Start with your inner conversations. What do you tell yourself daily? Are you rehearsing struggle or success? Start with your posture. Are you walking with the energy of someone who knows the outcome is secured, or with the doubt of someone still waiting for permission? Start with your decisions. Are they coming from fear or from the identity of the person who's already arrived? You don't need the world to catch up to your desire before you feel peace. You bring peace to your world by carrying the vibration of the fulfilled desire. That's the power of living from the end. The moment you decide to live as though the desire is already fulfilled, you step into a higher law. A law that is not bound by what is seen, but by what is believed. From that place, you become magnetic, aligned, and inevitable. You are no longer hoping for miracles. You are living as the miracle. So I ask you, who would you be right now if it were already yours? Be that, you leave that. From this moment forward, persist in the invisible until the visible bows. Creation is not an instant event. While the moment you assume and feel the fulfillment of your desire plants the seed, the manifestation itself often takes time to reach the surface. And this is where many falter. Not because their vision is flawed or their desire is unworthy, but because they lack persistence in the unseen. The most important moments in your journey are not when things are going well, but when nothing seems to be happening at all. This is the sacred testing ground of your faith. When the outer world still looks unchanged, yet you continue to stand in the inner knowing that your desire is already yours, that is when you prove your power. You must learn to persist in the invisible, hold to the inner reality, even when there is no external confirmation. This is not delusion, it is discipline. A discipline of imagination, a discipline of identity, a discipline of feeling. The longer you remain loyal to the inner truth, the more the outer world begins to shift in your favor. Think of a seed planted in the soil. You do not dig it up every day to check it is growing. You water it, protect it, and trust in the unseen process. Just because you cannot see the roots forming does not mean nothing is happening. The same is true for your desires. The invisible realm is where everything begins. Persist there. You must become unmoved by appearances. The outer world will often offer resistance, delay, or even contradiction. It may seem as if things are getting worse, but these moments are not signs of failure. They are invitations to dig deeper into your belief. Do not let what your eyes see convince your heart to waver. The moment you give up your assumption, you uproot the very process that was bringing it to life. The universe responds to consistency. It is not enough to assume your desire once and then return to fear or doubt. You must dwell in the state of fulfillment long enough for the pattern to imprint fully onto your reality. Every time you return to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you reinforce that pattern. Every time you act from the end, you align more closely with the version of reality that holds your desire. Persistence does not mean strain. It does not mean struggle. It means steadiness, a quiet, unwavering certainty that says, this is already mine, and I do not need to chase it. That steadiness becomes your power. It carries you through moments of uncertainty with grace. It reminds the universe that you are ready, that you are aligned, that you will not be moved. Often, right before the breakthrough, there is a moment where everything seems still. No signs, no movement. This is not the time to give up. This is the final gate. The old reality is losing its grip, and the new reality is preparing to emerge. Stand your ground. Do not look around for evidence. To persist in the invisible means you no longer need proof. You no longer ask, when will it come? Instead, you declare, it is already mine, and I remain faithful to that knowing. In that space, time becomes irrelevant. Pressure disappears. The need to control fades away. You're not trying to make things happen. You are allowing them to unfold in perfect rhythm. And as you persist, something begins to shift. Subtly at first, then undeniably. A conversation, a coincidence, an opportunity. One thread pulls another, and suddenly the life you imagined starts to take form around you. The invisible has bowed to the visible, not because you forced it, but because you outlasted the illusion of delay. This is your true power, not to demand, but to remain, to hold the inner truth until it becomes the outer fact, to live in such unwavering conviction that reality has no choice but to obey. You don't chase, you don't beg, you don't question, you persist, and the universe delivers. So, when the days feel silent, when your desire feels distant, when doubt whispers in your ear, return to your knowing. Water the invisible. Stand in your assumption. Feel it real. And remember this. All things are unfolding exactly as they must. Stay in the end. The world will catch up.